Hello, and welcome to my Python Programming for Beginners course. In this video, we're going to learn what a list is. So, based on the name list, you could probably guess as to what it is. In the real world, we have shopping lists, which are a collection of things that you need to buy. And then we also have to-do lists, which are a collection of things that you need to do. So, in programming, a list allows you to create a collection of values. So, let's get started. So, we'll switch to VS Code. And we'll create a new folder called 05-lists. And then in here, create a new file, name it list.py. So as we went over before, you can create variables and you can assign values to them. So a list is a data type as well. It's a data type which contains a number of other values. So if we were to create the variable called myList, the value that we give it are square brackets. So what this says is we have an empty list. As there's nothing inside of it, there are no values. So if we were to print my list, press F5, then Python file for debug, you'll see that it prints out just square brackets because it's a list with nothing inside of it. So what we can do is put values inside of it. So when you first create the list, we can put values like this. So say if we wanted to put the number 1 in, we can do that. But then if we wanted to add another value to it, we do comma, then 2, comma, 3, comma, 4. So let's save that and run it. As you can see, we now have the collection of 1, 2, 3, 4. With this collection, we can grab specific values within this list. That's known as an item. So we have multiple items inside of a list, and we grab these items by using the index, which is the numeric position within the list. So in programming, you start with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. With the number example I've done here, might get a bit confusing. So at index 0 we have 1, index 1 we have 2, index 2 we have 3, and then index 3 we have 4. So if we wanted to print these values, we can do print my list, and then we use the square brackets to choose an item from this list. So if I wanted to print the number 3, we would do index 0, 1, 2. So we do 2 here, then we can run it, and now we have the number 3. So in this list, we created it with values, but we can add more values to it later on. So we can do that now. So the way we do that's my list, then we do dot append, and then we can do number 5. If we run that, we then print out the value. If we print out the list, we'll see it starts with 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it goes on to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the basics of how lists work. Let's make a proper program. So if we go in here, and let's make a todo.py. So we will create a list called my to do list equals square brackets. So what we'll then do is a while true. So what we're going to do inside this while loop is give you the option to perform 2 actions: add to the list or to delete from the list. So what we're going to do first is create a list of valid actions, and this will equal add and delete. So we're going to use this list later on to make sure that the action that the user puts in is correct. So we'll do here action equals input, what action would you like to do, and then we'll then give them the option of add and delete. We want to make sure that they're putting in the correct action. So what we could also do instead is do another while loop, which checks to see if action does not equal add or delete. Keep asking them for what action they would like to do. So the way they will actually write this, action equals blank, while action not in valid actions. So that means if this string does not equal add or does not equal delete, run the following code. And then we'll put that here. So it'll keep asking the user, what action would you like to do, add or delete, until they put the correct action in. Once that's done, if action equals add, new to do item equals input, what do you want to add to your to do list? So then type that, it will then add it to new to do item. We'll add this item into valid actions list. So valid actions.append new to do item. Actually, what we'll actually do is up here, we'll print out what is currently in my to do list. So we'll print your to do list. So we'll print that, and then we'll print my to do list. We've still got quite a bit to do, but let's run it and see how it works. So your to do list currently blank. So let's type, well, we'll type something incorrect first. Let's type test. So it's asking me again. I'm going to type delete, which we haven't done, but what will happen is if we type delete, it will exit from this while loop. It will then go down to here, and then I'll print back up to here. So we'll type delete. Yep, went back through and did that. So now we'll type add. Now it's asking us, what do you want to add to your to-do list? And what I want to do is finish creating this program. Okay, I just realized I did valid actions.append, not my to-do list.append. So let's quickly stop this and change that, and then run again. Okay, so run it again, add, finish creating this program. There we go, your to-do list is to finish creating this program. So if we exit from that, we'll continue with making it so we can delete. So elif action equals delete, action not actions. So what we do now is index equals input. What item do you want to delete? So then when you're writing this, you're going to be typing a number in based on which item in the list you want to delete. So we'll convert that to int. We'll then do my to-do list dot pop, and then we will put index there. So let's run that and give it a go. So let's quickly, meant to type in the console. Let's add a few things quickly. So we'll just do to do, to make it easier for ourselves, to do 0, add to do 1, add to do 2. So we've now got 3 things in the list at indexes 0, 1, 2. So now let's delete an item. What item would you like to delete? I'll delete this one at index 1, so I'll type 1. Now we've only got 2 items in the list, although this one is now index 0 and to do 2 is now index 1. So we can add more things to here. Let's do A, B, C, D. Got that in there. Let's say we didn't like what we just added, want to delete it, so that will be index 0, 1, 2. So delete that. And we can also delete index 0 there. So that's basically how lists work. You have a variable which is a list. It contains a collection of values, and you can interact with that list in many ways to add new values, retrieve those values, and do whatever you want with them, really. So if you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any new videos that are added to this Python Programming for Beginners course.